Alright, so today's video is on finding your sign, or as I kind of like to think about it, how do you know if you're meant to work with somebody or not? And so when we were learning about this concept, it came up in one of the lectures. I think that some people might have a dream about a client and just kind of know that they're supposed to work with them. Wapio, our teacher, kind of shared that she will see certain things visually that show her that she's meant to work with somebody. In my experience so far, I've not had that experience where I see anything or have any particular like tangible sign. But as I was thinking about this, I think my sign is something more like prayer followed by peace. And so when I'm considering if I'm going to work with somebody, if I pray about it and think about it and I feel peace about the situation and I feel confident to work with that particular woman or couple, then I'll go ahead with it. And if I don't feel conflicted about the situation, then I don't really have any concerns. I suppose if somebody came to me and what they were looking for was beyond kind of what I consider my scope of practice, then perhaps I would suggest somebody else or a different solution, or I can support you in this capacity. If you would like that, then we can proceed with that, and maybe we can find somebody else to support you in those other ways. But something that comes up for me when I think about this topic of finding your sign, because it's kind of tied in with, in a sense, you choosing to support people or not, is that I really think of the profession of being a doula or a midwife or a birth keeper as being somebody who serves and someone who desires to serve women in birth and couples and families as they welcome a new child into their family. And so in my immediate social and geographic community, I actually don't know anybody that I can think of. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but I don't know anybody who works as a doula or does the work that I'm learning and training to do. Whether they practice similarly to me or not, I don't think I really know anybody in my actual day-to-day life or close kind of social community who's doing that. And so I think I kind of view it as thinking of it in the sense that God has put me in this particular context, in this community, with these desires to learn this information about birth and to learn how to support women well, to fill in a gap where there isn't really anybody doing this work. And I think a lot of people are thinking about birth in a new light, and a lot of people maybe are considering home birth when they wouldn't have before, or maybe they just really want a natural birth. I had someone kind of in my extended family recently had a baby, and she was telling me about her birth story, and she used the term physiologic on her own, like from her own research, like I didn't bring it up, she brought up the term physiologic, and I was so like impressed and happy to hear that, because I think the tides are turning, I think, for some people in birth, and what women want in birth is changing. And so I don't really see myself as being super picky with clients. I mean, I guess it depends how big your client base gets and how many requests you get. But at this point in kind of my practice, I guess, it's people who know me. And if people seek me out, I kind of feel like that, in a sense, is part of my sign to work with them, unless there was something big, glaring, and conflicting. And another thing I kind of was thinking about is, I think professionally speaking, there may come times when one or both parties, so the doula or birth worker or the pregnant woman or her partner, may decide to dissolve the professional relationship. And I think that's okay too. And that maybe is also a sign that you weren't meant to work with each other, or maybe they received what they needed from you and they don't need you in the rest of their journey through pregnancy and birth. And I think as long as there's communication and both parties are respected, and also kind of consideration of the time and commitment that was previously spent in that relationship is also honored, that it's okay if you decide to part ways in your third trimester, or maybe just before the baby's born. Maybe, I mean, it would be really cool if people became so confident that they felt like they really could do it without you, and like maybe that's part of how you supported them up to the birth, to where they get to the point where they really feel like they can do it on their own. So yeah, I don't really currently have any like super significant or like mystical sign that comes to me. I just kind of feel like people who seek me out are the people I'm meant to work with, unless there's some glaring conflict or I feel like really uneasy about it for some reason. But yeah, I think I'm doing this so that I can be a resource and of service to the women around me. And I think, yeah, that's kind of my concept of finding my sign. And I think that's all I have to share for right now. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.